Hey folks, I'm James and I'm a Renaissance guy, and that means I like to do a lot of different things. And today I want to tell you about kneeboarding behind my 1436 John boat with a 15 horsepower motor. So when I bought this boat, I wasn't sure exactly what I would be able to do with it. I knew I wanted to do some fishing with it, and I knew that my kids would want to do something fun with it, like tubing or something like that. I was really pleased to discover that not only could I pull my kids in a tube, but I could also pull them on a kneeboard, and even my oldest one, a teenager, could pull me on a kneeboard with this little boat and this little motor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a brief video of my teenager being pulled on the kneeboard, just so you get a sense of, the speed and the acceleration with it. And then I just want to talk a little bit about some minor modifications I did to get the most out of the kneeboarding capabilities of this little boat and motor. So enjoy this video first. Okay, we're back, and you can see that it's not going to win any speed contests or anything like that, but it will do the job. If I'm the one kneeboarding behind it, it still works. Acceleration's a little slower because I'm a little bit heavier, but it still works pulling an adult instead of a teenager. But I did do a couple of things to be able to make it work. And just to be clear, before I talk about these things, I want to make sure to point out that kneeboarding was possible without doing either of these things, but doing these two things helped it to work a little bit better. So let's take a look at the motor. Okay, so here is my motor. It's a 15 horsepower Tohatsu, model year 2020. And the only things that I've done with it are, number one, I changed out the propeller. The stock propeller was a 9 1/4 inch diameter 10 pitch propeller, and I went ahead and switched it out for a 9 pitch, still a 9 1/4 inch propeller, but dropping it down 1 pitch increased the acceleration so I could get on plane a little bit faster, and just gave it a little bit more pulling power, and was able to reach a faster top speed when pulling weight. I do have to say, though, when I'm by myself and I'm not pulling weight, I had a faster top speed with the 10 pitch. It ended up dropping my top speed by about 1 or 2 miles per hour when I'm by myself, but increased it when I'm pulling weight. Also, and here's where the other addition I made to the motor comes into play, if I'm by myself using this propeller, if I full throttle with it and I'm not pulling any weight or don't have extra people on the boat with me, then I will end up over revving the motor, which can cause damage. And it does have an internal limiter, but what the limiter does is it kind of shuts the motor down a little bit when you reach it. It doesn't just give it a ceiling and let it keep running. It kind of warns you and doesn't let it operate properly if that limiter is reached. So I need to make sure I'm not over revving the engine. And so, in order to prevent me from doing that, I added a tachometer and an hour counter to the motor. And while that doesn't limit it, it does allow me to glance back at the motor and just see what the RPMs are. And so I can just kind of keep an eye on things to make sure I don't over rev the engine. And beyond that, everything else is the same. I have done many other modifications to the boat, adding decks and fish finder and whatnot. If you're interested in learning about that, I've got a video about those modifications that you can check out. But that's all there is to know, I think, about pulling a kneeboard on this boat with this little motor. I do have to say, though, with a boat this size, be careful about big lakes with big waves. Pick a calm day or a small lake if you're going to do that, because this boat doesn't handle waves too well, especially if you're going kneeboard speeds. If you enjoyed this video and you want to get it in front of other people's eyes, go ahead and hit that like button. If you enjoy the random content that I post on my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. Have a great day.